Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Luna, and we usually look at Bitcoin first, but I'll make a separate video with that altogether. Highly recommend if you are new to just trading in general, understand what Bitcoin's doing. It makes altcoins a lot easier. Now, before we look at Luna, just so you know, I am not a financial advisor. I just love teaching people how to trade. This is my day job. I do this every day for a living, and I can assure you that in the last 15 years of trading, I've learned a thing or two here, and my goal is to help you become a better trader. Okay, simply put, so learn as much as you can from these videos. If you want a little bit more in depth, I have a trading community where you can learn a lot more. I share signals for every single trade that I take, and I'm rolling out with the Trading Academy month end, and it's going to be awesome. And at this point, what we're going to do here is first, we want to look at the one-day chart and work our way down. I recommend 1 day or 1 week chart first. We don't need to worry about the 1 week at this point. I do that more so with Bitcoin, but for the 1 day chart, we can see with Luna. Obviously, we've had some pretty decent increases here recently, and it's pretty standard for Luna to return and recover back to its original state, which is doing very well, of course. It's kind of a natural, reliable coin, you could say. All right, so taking a look at some of the moving averages, first of all, we didn't bounce off of 50. We came below for a moment, but we did essentially, in a lot of ways, recover quickly and stay above 50. So the 50-day moving average working as a nice support level, 200 is trailing behind. We can also obviously see as well that we're up over 50 in the RSI, extremely important to be over 50 on the 1 day chart. Love to see that. That basically just tells us we're over that key level resistance, about $75, and we're progressing and trending upwards now as we speak. We also have a MACD convergence on the horizon, which is also good. That kind of gives us a little reassurance that Luna should be here to stay as far as a long-term bigger picture. Okay, that's a really good indication. So honestly, everything that we see here so far is fantastic. All good stuff on the 1 day. Now for the 4 hour, we can see we're also equally as beneficial. We're up over both moving averages, the 200 more specifically, and we can also see we're trending closer to 70 on the RSI. While that's typically giving us an overbought consideration, in other words, the likelihood of it coming back down from here is higher than it is to go down lower, or sorry, to continue upwards rather. The bottom line here is that when the RSI is close to 70, you want to kind of pay attention. Okay, basically it just means that we're trending closer to a resistance. So if we do break 87.95, sorry, let's round up, say $88. If you break $88, then we'll probably be up over 70 on the RSI, and that would essentially allow us to consider that to be a support level. Now, keep in mind, we've had a decent amount of growth in the last few days, so ultimately it would be okay if the price were to consolidate and go sideways just below that resistance. All right. Now, taking a look here at the MACD, we did have a convergence yesterday at 9 a.m. So roughly 24 hours ago, we got a MACD convergence on the chart. So that's also good as well. So basically just telling us that we have nice momentum. The macro looks very good. The midterms looking very good as well. And let's go ahead and see what the 1 hour tells us too. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, let's take a quick look at TD sequential. We are at an 8 right now. So this is just something to be mindful of. A lot of coins are actually at 8s right now, at least some of the stronger coins. I covered Aave recently. It's at an 8 on the 4 hour. And basically just means that, a lot of ways, not that Luna is synonymous with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's also performing similarly. In other words, we've had bullish continuation for the last day and a half. And there's a point in which we might see that slow down or stop. Now, not to say the price is going to drop like a rock from here, but the truth be told here is that when you had an 8, you're at an 8 or a 9 on TD sequential, it really just tells us that we have a stronger consideration for the price to come back down than it would be to go up. Okay, so again, just to reiterate that or reaffirm that if you're new to the channel, we're getting closer to the end of this little run, and the likelihood of it going up from here is a lot lower than it is going down, or at least going sideways. Hypothetically, and ideally, what we normally would see here is the price come down and kind of bounce off support at 83. That's a traditional or a typical way that you'll see it. You can see it happened here previously. It came up to a 9, got way past its point, came back down, consolidated as support, and then continued upwards. Okay, so we could effectively see a very similar scenario again. It's Luna has a tendency of rinsing and repeating the same behavior. And if you look at this here too, we see higher highs and higher lows, all very good signs here, right? So really, there's no reason why we should expect a turnaround. It's not giving us any indication that we're going to see anything slow down here for Luna. Now, taking a look at the 1 hour chart, though, let's take a quick peek at some of the obvious. Ichimoku cloud, we got the conversion line over the baseline, lagging span is free and clear, and we're all up over the actual cloud itself. So, all green check marks here on the 1 hour chart as well. The only consideration that we need to be aware of here is that we do have a 7 on TD sequential. So, again, there's no guarantees that this is going to happen, but if you can see, again, it's done this before, where it comes up to a 9, comes back down, resets, and then progresses upwards. So hypothetically, we've got 2 more hours worth of continuation, which should not break $88. It should retrace and effectively come down to about 83, I would say, is a strong chance. So I would consider, taking a look at Luna when it hits 83 or lower, and consider adding to your position, because the likelihood of it bouncing off 83 is fairly high, considering the previous 9 on TD sequential was right at that level. Okay, and that's a really good sign that kind of implies that the next higher low should be higher than $83. Okay, so I would say 83/84 might be a good consideration. Consider maybe setting an alert for that. But the likelihood of it pushing directly past $88 right now is pretty low, but I do think inevitably it will do that, okay? So again, buy the dip at 83, ride it up to 88 plus, and you should be in good shape there. And all in all, too, big picture here as well. I got a lot of questions on, if Bitcoin sells off, which I still think is the likelihood, right? Perpetual contracts. Usually, when you look at a lot of those that data, you can kind of understand that there's likely going to be a turnaround. Okay. Now, it may or may not be super significant. We may not see 37,500 from Bitcoin, but if we do, I just want you to know that we do have some major Fibonacci retracement levels. 71 and 78 are the current dollar cost average scenarios. So if the price were to come down, you can add to your position there comfortably, and just kind of slowly keep adding to your position. And when I say dollar cost average, it doesn't mean you take the full amount that you have in your portfolio and put it in. And it doesn't mean you put 50% of your current portfolio into this one, okay? You don't do that. What you do is you set 5 or 10% aside, put that into a coin of this nature here, and ensure that you're adding to your overall position, which shouldn't be any more than 3 to 5% of your total portfolio, right? If you have only 2 coins in your portfolio, you're doing it wrong. Okay. Now again, swing trade, day trades, there's a lot of different scenarios. I cover all that in my trading academy, but what I want to get at here is just that if this is a swing trade for you, Luna, for example, you shouldn't have more than 3 to 5% of your overall total portfolio invested at one time. Okay. I know you're probably saying, hey, that's crazy. How am I going to make some gains? Well, you pick a lot of good winners and you eventually get gains that way. You don't just put all your eggs in one basket. All right. Again, just some friendly advice from somebody that's extremely tenured with trading. I can tell you I found the most success with diversification. Okay. Anyways, we can cover that again later. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for your time here. If you're not currently a community member, consider joining. Link in the description below. Once again, Trading Academy rolling out month end, and more importantly, new website with membership platform. We're going to have a community dashboard. A lot of great stuff is coming along. I'm working with a web developer right now as we speak to get that up and running for you. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Take care.